Hey guys, Forrest Proctor here from Epic Creative, and in today's video I want to show you my Fujifilm XH2S cinema rig that I use for the sports documentaries that I produce and direct with 228 Sports. And yeah, we're going to talk about why I've got it set up this way and what I'm actually using this camera for when we're filming those projects. So first of all guys, if you like this kind of content with video, business, filmmaking, especially if you're in a smaller town or an urban area, or a more rural area rather, please do subscribe to the channel because this is pretty much all I talk about, and I try to help people find some independence with their business and their filmmaking skills. So this is not actually currently counterweighted like I like it. You can see it's leaning a little bit forward, but nevertheless it's basically exactly how I'd set this up for shooting a sports documentary. And just to give you a little context, go to 228sports.com, go to 228 Sports YouTube channel, and you will see all the content that I partnered with them to make. Basically a good friend of mine owns that, and he hires me to create mini documentaries, and so that's what we do together. And this is actually our B-roll beast, and I call it the story camera that I use as I'm going around the field. Briefly explain to you what this camera does on the field, but then also I'll show how it's like rigged out basically. So I'm a big fan of sports documentary series such as Welcome to Wrexham or something like Last Chance U, which is where we take a lot of inspiration. And basically I call this the story camera. So I've got it rigged out with an onboard mic and a lavalier that I can put two lavs on a player or a coach or anything like that. And I basically have headphones normally that I've got in here. I will walk around and focus on the story, trying to get good sound bites. I do a lot of B-roll shooting with it when there's not opportunity to get good audio and story, but for the most part I try to reserve this for the story. I'll have two other camera operators that will have like gimbals and different things and a drone that they can use to get B-roll for me, while I'm solely focused on the story. So that's what this camera is for, and I really just love the color in the Fujifilm camera so much. That's probably one of my favorite things. But also in combination with the Sigma art lenses, they just have an actual look, which you don't get that a lot with my Canon cameras. You get that with my Red Scarlet for sure, but this camera in combination with that actually to me has a particular look, and that gets thrown around a lot, but this is like the first time I've ever really felt that way other than the Red Scarlet X. But that's how the camera's used on that type of setup. And we do these probably every 2 months we put an episode out. And so it's getting rigged up like this a lot. But I'll go ahead and go through what all is included in this. So when I get there, I get it all set up, or really I have the camera built before we ever start shooting or I get there. But I have the Tilt-A-Mirage matte box on the front with the flag that comes with it. Normally I will have, especially because all this stuff, or a lot of the stuff is during the day, I have the Tilt ND filter, and I will also have, if I'm indoors or if I feel like it's appropriate, I will have a mist filter, a 4x5 mist filter on the front of this, or maybe even a hard stop of ND if it's super bright, because of the kind of like color shift on this ND when you're trying to use it at maximum. I don't really like the look of that. But moving backwards, we've got the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter lens there, and I actually am using the Fringer adapter. I have a whole video on this adapter. They sent it to me. If you are interested in that, I'll put the link in the description for that. But I have an adapter that basically allows me to use my EF glass with this Fujifilm mount. So I've got that, and then on the top there, because the display, although it's over here, is actually very useful, I'll have this display out like that. So as you can see, I got the top monitor and I got the display. And the top monitor is a Portkeys, by the way. I'll put the link in the description for that. I can't remember the exact model, but it's pretty good. You kind of have to always have this hood even inside because it's not super bright. Probably should have got the brighter option, but I got what I got. But this monitor comes in handy because I will let my display information live here, like my ISO, my aperture, all that good stuff. And then I'll kind of keep this more close to clean. So I'm just getting a clean feed there, but I'll put focus peaking on it and maybe waveform. And then down here is where, like, if I just need to glance at my aperture, glance at my ISO, glance at all that good stuff, it's there, and it's not like convoluting the image, because this is kind of where you can be a little more artistic. This is when you need some technical info. So that's really nice. Of course I have this Rode lavalier pack on top. Normally I'd have the Comica on here mic, but I'm using it for this video. So, but if I don't have the Comica available, I'll just use this little Rode Mini Go or whatever they're called. I have a V-mount battery plated to the back of this. Now normally I have some more weight right there because I'll have the shoulder rig part just in case I want to like try to throw it on the shoulder. But yeah, the V-mount battery powering the camera. I've tried to power other things with it, but it doesn't really work out because something about the overload, or it's really the camera's fault. Something about the camera just makes everything else cycle power too much, and then this overheats. I don't really know why. So the back of the monitor, we're using just a Sony NPF battery, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I've got this rail system. I cannot remember. I think maybe Newer makes the rail system. No, it's Siriu makes this rail system. I will put the link in the description if you want to check that out as well. But yeah, this is how I use this, and it's very versatile. Now, a lot of times too, I will put the 70 or 200 lens on here, especially doing a sport like football or soccer, where you're not really able to get as close, or when you do want those like more close-up shots of a person who is 45 yards away. You can get some pretty good stuff, of course. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this camera. If you guys like this kind of content, please do subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep making it. See you later.